featured guest, Wendy Larson. We're so excited. All right, Wendy, you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on the call. And again, I just want to congratulate you guys for your awesome work on going Diamond and Emerald. And that is just so amazing. I mean, you're right. There is some serious energy going on with Plexus right now. And if you haven't caught on to that wave, I hope that you get on your surfboard right now, because we're going to be riding some serious waves. But anyway, so we are going to talk about health tonight. This is definitely an area of mine that I'm extremely passionate about. And the main reason why I became so passionate about health is because, just to give you a background a little bit on my story, in 2005, I was bit by a tick. I was 35 weeks pregnant and had been bit by a tick and came down with a tick-borne illness called ehrlichiosis, which is a co-infection of Lyme disease. And I ended up going into preterm labor and delivering our son 5 weeks premature. And I went into septic shock and was not expected to survive. And as you guys know, or anybody that you know that has a tick-borne illness, Lyme disease is really, really tough on the body. It's really, really tough. And I was very, very sick for about 9 years. Lived chronically with a lot of health problems like skin rashes and low body temperature and low blood pressure and chronic fatigue and chronic pain and poor sleep and brain fog, and you name it, I had it, with a smile on my face. Because that's what moms do, right? We don't ever let anybody know that we don't feel good. So I was desperate to get well, and I have done a lot of things to attempt that. I would change our diet. We went gluten-free, we went vegetarian, we went vegan, we went paleo. I did a lot of things to try to get my body to start feeling better. And a lot of those approaches worked for a little while, but it was never something that was long-term for me. And so what I ended up doing was going back to school. I was about, 40 years old. I think I was 40 years old, and I decided to go back to school and become a certified natural health professional to see if there was anything that I could learn in school to help me heal my body, because I believe that God gave us the ability for our bodies to heal themselves. We just need the right tools. So sure enough, I went back to school, and as I'm in the middle of school, literally, my sponsor, Kristen Abart, was messaging me about Plexus, and she sent me the website, and we were talking about it, and honestly, I wasn't impressed at first. I thought it was all about weight loss, and I wasn't looking for weight loss. And she gave me this, if you know Kristen, she tells things how it is, really, really good. And she said, Wendy, I'm surprised with you. Get your researching hat on and start understanding about how amazing these products are for like blood sugars. And she goes, I know your husband's a type 1 diabetic. And she said, I know you have thyroid problems, and I really think this could help you. And so I did that. And as I was researching, right in the middle of school, we started talking about blood sugar. We started talking about inflammation. We started talking about gut health. And we started talking about enzymes and all these things that I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight. And the huge light bulb moment went off, and I'm like, I don't know if Plexus realizes what a gold mine they have, because this could help a lot of people. And what I was learning in school aligned perfectly with our products. So I was really super excited. Needless to say, I went on the products. It took me about 2 months, and all of my symptoms that I have just listed off to you, I have been symptom-free since. And that is a huge feat. That is a really huge feat for somebody who has been sick for 9 years. So I'm super excited about that. So why did that work for me? Well, I'm about to tell you. The main thing is when somebody is sick or when they have a chronic illness, it causes stress on the body. And I'm going to talk to you guys about 3 main ways to bring the body back to a homeostasis or to balance or to health. And the 3 ways is we're going to remove stress from the body. That's number 1. Number 2, we're going to talk about healing the gut. You have to heal the gut. And number 3, we're going to talk about bringing nutrients back to the body, because technically the reason why I was sick with 1 and 2 is because I wasn't getting enough nutrients to the body. So number 1, to reduce stress is we take our pink drink. To alleviate stress, there's a lot of things that cause stress on the body. The main one is blood sugar imbalances. Our body cannot handle the highs and the lows that blood sugar causes. It actually causes our adrenals to get really stressed out, and our adrenals send out a hormone called cortisol. And insulin and cortisol are this perfect little teeter-totter that need to be balanced, and when they're unbalanced, you can feel the swings. You go up and down all the time. And what the Slim does is it helps regulate your insulin, and so it helps also regulate those stress hormones, the cortisol. And your adrenals can't heal if your insulin isn't balanced. So that is huge to healing a lot of stress in the body, is by managing those cortisol levels, and you have to do that with balanced blood sugar. Another huge stressor on the body is sugar cravings and eating sugar. And that's something that Slim helps do, is it takes away a lot of our sugar cravings. It made me lose my desire for coffee, which is good, because what else causes stress on the body is caffeine. It helped improve my sleep. And if you don't have good sleep habits, that puts a tremendous amount of stress on the body. Your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and your lipid levels, if they're not all in balance, that is like a stress indicator that there's something going on in the body. Like I told you earlier, I had really low blood pressure and really low body temperature. And the doctors told me that was my new normal. Like 97.4 is normal, and it's not normal. 98.6 is normal for a reason, and that's to help fight a lot of infection and bacteria in the body. So if you have chronically low body temperatures, that means that there's some level of stress going on in the body, and you need to get your body temperature back up to healthy, normal levels. So that was another thing. Other stressors on the body can be not just physical, but they can be chemical, and they can be emotional. So maybe you've experienced some level of trauma or something like that, and that can set off your insulin and your cortisol balance. And Slim is so great about that. I mean, a lot of people even say when they're on the pink drink, they feel more balanced, like they don't feel. How many times have we heard our moms say, I don't feel cranky anymore. I don't feel like I am yelling at my children as much anymore. Or, the mean mom doesn't come out as often. It really helps balance our emotional level too. So that's number 1. We're taking stress off of the body, and the pink drink is amazing for that. And when you can take that stress off, then the body can start healing itself. Number 2, we're going to start healing the gut. That, of course, is our ProBio 5 and our Bio Cleanse. And the ProBio 5, I think, is what really saved my life, mainly because I probably had chronic digestive issues as a child, and it just got worse and worse until I was an adult, and I just didn't have the immune strength to fight off the tick bite or a lot of other issues that I had going on. And that ProBio 5 is a 3-in-1 system. It has your healthy bacteria to replenish the gut. Your gut is an ecosystem, just like an ecosystem that we experience in nature. You think of a pond, and if that pond is unhealthy and it doesn't have a lot of, healthy water flowing through it and healthy vegetation, it gets scummy and icky and full of bacteria and germs. And that's kind of what our gut can be like as well. So the ProBio 5 helps reestablish healthy gut bacteria. It also has an antifungal, which we all know Candida yeast is a yeast that we are born with when we're babies. We obtain it through the birth canal when we're born, and we only need a tiny bit of it. There's no way anybody will ever be Candida free, and I want people to understand that. That's why the spit test is really an inaccurate way of determining if you have candida or not, because we always will have candida. Candida is meant to decompose our body when we die. That's the sole purpose for candida, is to decompose our body. It's a fungus, just like a fungus on a tree takes the tree, when that tree is dead, back to the ground, back to the earth. When it dies, it decomposes it. So that's what the candida yeast fungus is for, is primarily just to decompose our body. But it gets overgrown, so we have an antifungal to bring that back down into healthy balance. And then the main thing, which I love, love, love about our Probio 5 are enzymes. It's rich in enzymes. You guys, the older we get, the less enzyme function we have. And a lot of people are walking around with missing body parts, like our gallbladder, or maybe they have diabetes, so then they're not getting proper enzyme function through their pancreas, or maybe they've had liver problems. You get a lot of enzymes through your liver. So if you have those health issues, you really need the enzymes that we have in Probio 5. And those enzymes help break down your food and help your body assimilate your nutrients in your food better. So those are huge key factors to our Probio 5. I will never not be without it. I think we should always be on a good probiotic. And then you cannot take Probio 5 without having BioCleanse. I'm not saying taking them together. I'm saying they're like a married couple. They work best when you have both of them. And the main reason why that is because of those enzymes that are in our Probio 5. Our body requires magnesium, and every single cell in our body needs magnesium. Our enzymes need a good dose of magnesium in order to function properly. So even if you have all these great enzymes and you're deficient in magnesium, it's not going to work very good. You have to have the two of them together. They work the best together. 9 out of 10 Americans are deficient in magnesium. And a lot of the symptoms that are associated to magnesium deficiency are going to be somebody that has maybe chronic headaches or migraines. They can't sleep well at night. They have restless leg. IBS is just another form of magnesium deficiency. It's muscle spasms. You know, just like we would have in our legs, these are colon spasms that we have in our colon, and they can be a magnesium deficiency. Heart palpitations. Every single cell in our body requires a healthy level of magnesium. Excess magnesium, if we take too much magnesium, our body gets rid of it. It's perfect. It knows exactly anything we get an overdose of when it comes to vitamins and minerals and things like that. Our body is really smart at eliminating it. So got to have your Probio and your BioCleanse together. I would never not have one without the other. They're fantastic. So that's what we've done. Number 1, we have taken stress off the body. Number 2, we have healed our gut. We're getting our gut healthy. And number 3, we're going to talk about the X factor vitamins, because now we need to bring nourishment back to our body. We've gotten rid of 1 and 2, or we've worked on 1 and 2. Now we need to bring nutrients back in. And let me tell you guys, if you have candida overgrowth in your gut, you cannot assimilate nutrients properly. So technically, you are nutritionally starved. And that's really sad. That is why we have such a breakdown in our health, is because our cells are starved of nutrients because of candida overgrowth. So the X factor comes in. We know the aloe is fantastic. It's what makes our X factor such an amazing powerhouse, is because it helps us, absorb 300 to 400% more of nutrients, and not just in the vitamin, but through our foods. So if we're eating healthy, good, organic foods, we're getting more of that absorption because of the X factor. We're taking in more of our supplements, like our Slim and our Probio and our BioCleanse. They become even more powerful because of the aloe. And that's an amazing thing. So now that we're healing the gut, we're taking off stress, and we can get this aloe in our body to help us absorb things. we are really looking at a great future for our health as far as getting back on track. Has a good line of B vitamins, which is great for the brain, great for healing a lot of things. My favorite part, though, and I hear this so often, is people always say, well, I wish our X Factor had iron in it. Why doesn't it have any iron in it? And if you were to actually research the New Zealand blackcurrant, the New Zealand blackcurrant is really rich in iron. So if you take the aloe and the iron from the New Zealand blackcurrant, you see so many people that have been anemic or tired. Why they feel so much better on our X Factor vitamin is because of the iron that's in the currant. So isn't that pretty fantastic? It doesn't need to be added. It's already in the plant. So that's really great. Another thing about the aloe that I wanted to talk about is it kind of acts like a taxi driver. And it will literally drive, if you have a cell that is deficient, like in vitamin C or vitamin B or anything like that, it will literally take that nutrient, that vitamin or that mineral, and drive it to the cell that it's starving in, because that's how God designed that plant to work. It's our bodies and plants are so perfectly put together, and what God gave us on this earth to have complete wholeness and wellness, and it's really amazing. So, and then last, I can't leave out the fast relief, because again, anybody that has any autoimmune disorder needs to be on fast relief because of the enzymes. A lot of autoimmune disorders probably resulted due to a lack of enzyme function. And we have amazing enzymes in there. They're so amazing that the serrapeptase and the bromelain in there, they break down excess proteins. And a lot of our bacteria infections are protein based. So if you have, like, for an example, my kids had like the stomach flu. The stomach flu is a bacteria, and we pop the fast relief capsules, and their stomach flu is like literally gone within an hour. They feel so much better, and they're jumping up and down again and being crazy children. But it really has an amazing ability to break down proteins. And people that have like sore muscles or fibromyalgia or severe chronic joint pain or anything like that, a lot of that is excess proteins that have been, when they were sick and they had leaky gut, those proteins escaped the gut and got tucked away in our tissues and in our joints. And the fast relief enzymes flood through our body, they get into our bloodstream, and they find those proteins and they break them down. And that's why people won't experience pain anymore, is because they're breaking down and digesting the proteins that are in our body where they're not supposed to be. So we really have an incredible line of products that are so holistic and so natural, and obviously our bodies respond very well to. And I'll tell you what, I have a cabinet full of products that I have had for years trying to feel better, and they have never done anything in the way that Plexus has. So I know that we have something really fantastic here.
For more information about the Plexus products and opportunity, contact your independent Plexus ambassador.